And you're listening to News Talk 1340 WJRW. John Gonzalez, the Going Gonzo Show, weekdays at 1 o'clock on News Talk 1340 WJRW. John Gonzalez here from MLive.com. Also, Judy is our producer, and we're having a fun day getting back into the swing of things. We were on the road, have been on the road since Monday. Monday we were in Gaylord, just having a good time there, and kind of getting ready for our trip to Mackinac Island. Tuesday and Wednesday, Judy and I broadcast a show from Mackinac Island where we were doing a story for MLive about just experiencing everything that Michigan has to offer, the sights, the sounds, and the smells of Mackinac Island. Right, Judy? You loved it, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. It was beautiful.
We did have a good time, good weather, too.
Oh, yeah. It was gorgeous.
Got back late last night.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and Judy got to rest while I was up writing all night. Because one of the things I was working on was a story that we posted on MLive.com around 9 o'clock this morning, and already it's getting a lot of Facebook shares and a lot of attention because it has to do with Michigan craft beer and this incredible growth that we're experiencing right now. And joining us on the line is Scott Graham from Michigan's Brewers Guild. How you doing, Scott?
I'm doing great, thanks.
Good to talk to you, and I appreciate you taking a few minutes out of your time. I know you're a busy guy. So what is your initial reaction to the news that MLive is going to go and do a Michigan's Best series on Michigan craft beer?
Well, I think it's fun to see the media coverage. I know that you folks have done a series of Michigan's Best, and I just think it's great that you're also looking at beer and including that. I think it's fun, and there's a lot of interest. Of course, it's a little tough for me because I like to try and shine the spotlight on everybody and not single anybody out. We've got so many great breweries in the state and so much wonderful beer. But I think it's fun to just have more conversation about it.
And that's exactly what we're trying to do as well. I mean, you're right. It's a list that when we end up with the top 10 list, the final list that'll give us the top 10 ranking, that's kind of like the last part of the whole thing. But you know, in the brewing culture, in the Michigan beer culture, it's a great discussion. Everyone talks about, hey, did you go here? Oh, I like this better than that. It's just a natural part of the conversation. And this initial phase that we're in right now, asking readers and, of course, the people that love Michigan craft beer, kind of what are your favorites and why? That's kind of the fun phase for me because, like you, I think there's just more than just 10 great breweries in the state of Michigan. There are probably 140, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it is fun, though. I think people really enjoy the variety, enjoy getting to know different breweries and different beers, as well as going back and visiting some of their favorites. So, it's a pretty easy subject to have fun with. It
really is. And we were up in Gaylord on Monday up at Treetops, and they've really embraced the whole Michigan craft beer, haven't they?
Treetops does a wonderful job presenting craft beer. They have a very thoughtful variety, both in the bottle and on draft, and the staff there at the sports bar does a really nice job presenting it, talking about it, offering it up. I've spent time there. I actually live in Gaylord myself.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned it, because I knew that that's kind of your neck of the woods there. But hey, one funny comment that was made in one of the article today, you know, and I thought I would ask you about it. They mentioned that they thought it was good timing that we do this story now because, you know, it's kind of, you know, it's at some point Michigan, the brewery thing is going to kind of jump the shark and it'll be passé. I think that might have been someone that maybe is a little bit maybe not informed of what's going on, because Michigan year after year continues to lead the country in some of the growth of craft breweries, don't they?
Yeah, and I certainly don't think that it's fatty or trendy or will get less interesting. I think it's going to continue to stay interesting, and there are a lot of people that really haven't discovered yet that they don't live more than an hour from a local brewery, and that there's all this wonderful fresh craft beer out there. So I think as more and more people become aware of it and share it with their friends, there's still a lot of people that are unaware, and that are perfectly interested and willing to kind of change their patterns and habits as they discover. We're still only selling a little under 4% of all the beer that's sold in Michigan is brewed in Michigan, and I expect to see that share go to 10% and beyond. So there's going to be a lot of continued growth, and sure, the industry is going to continue to develop, and there will be different business dynamics. But to me, there's no end in sight, and I even think when I look at a national level that it wouldn't surprise me to see the share of craft beer just go beyond everybody's expectations over time. because it is fun. It's tasty. It's interesting. It's a nice little flavor in your life to be able to add tasty, interesting beer. And it's even in challenging times when people don't have a lot of money, it seems to be a real affordable little luxury that makes you feel good. You can have fun with. You can have social interaction around, and it's just a real nice little part of life.
And I think too, Scott, we're talking to Scott Graham here from the Michigan Brewers Guild. I think that that there's still this, like you said, a lot of people that just don't know that they might enjoy it. Like our producer, Judy here, she's 23 years old, a woman, obviously, and she sampled some beers when we had dinner there at Treetops. And I think, Judy, you didn't really realize the variety that was out there, did you?
Oh, no, because I tasted a couple, and I thought I was drinking wine.
Right.
I was like, is this wine? Did you give me some wine over here or something?
Right.
And they're like, no, this is our brew. This is what we have. And I'm like, oh, my gosh, this is awesome. This is great for people who don't necessarily like beer, because it didn't taste like beer.
Yeah, I agree, and I've talked to quite a few people over the years that have an impression in their mind that they don't like beer, and I just refuse to accept that, because I think a lot of times that person might be thinking of, yellow, fizzy, kind of bland, traditional mega American beer, which is intentionally uninteresting. And there are so many interesting, wonderful flavors of craft beer that it's hard to imagine not being able to find something that you can sincerely say, oh, wow, it's interesting and I like it, and that makes you want to experiment even more.
Hey, Scott, we got about a minute left here. Can you give the listeners of WJRW just an idea of like some of the numbers of what you guys are seeing in terms of the growth here in Michigan?
Well, we're seeing volume growth in double digits year after year. In the past few years, we've seen anything from about 11 or 12% to 20% and more each year. So basically, we're seeing the volume growth in Michigan just continue to be strong and grow and outpace the national growth trend, and we're seeing a lot of breweries opening too, more and more breweries opening. The last few years we've really seen a lot of breweries opening, and there are a lot in planning, so we're going to continue to see that trend. And hey, if you don't know about the brewery in your town or neighborhood, take a look, because if there isn't one there now, I bet there's one in planning.
Well, I know we're going to be up at the Upper Peninsula next weekend, so I can't wait to see you up there.
Yeah, we'll be looking forward to seeing you at the 5th Annual UP Fall Beer Festival in Marquette, and there are still tickets available at mibeer.com.
There you go. All right, Scott Graham, thanks for your time, man.
Thanks, John.
All right, we'll talk to you later.